Hey, it's Friday already here in Cypress, Texas. I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning thinking I overslept. And then I'm like, oh, so I lay back down. Then I couldn't get up when the alarm went off. So I'm doing my run right now, getting ready to do my run. Um, wow. All right. We're going to talk about um, this is incredible. Okay. Understand that the term Nimrod is a derogatory, sarcastic label for belligerent kings, kings that defy God or challenge God or wanted to be gods, wanted to be immortal, which is most of them, and the pharaohs, all of them were like that. Okay, so the first, the Hammurabi, or the Nimrod, was actually Gilgamesh. He was the one that built the Tower of Babel. He wanted to challenge God. He wanted to have it out with God, and he feels he conquered God. He could be immortal and he could have supernatural powers, and that's what he wanted. And then he finds there's this guy, a wild man, raised in the, you know, in, in the wilderness, and the very strong warrior, and so they had it out. They had like a wrestling match, and what happened was he, you know, they gained respect for each other in their little wrestling match, and they became like best friends, and they fought together as a team, and they conquered other armies, and they defeated a dragon, and then somebody said something to this guy. I want to say it's Achilles or Achilles, um, his buddy, and said that he was gonna die, and he got depressed and actually died, right? And then um, Gilgamesh kept, you know, challenging God, and then the spirit of his buddy came to him and told him, you know, your body will never be immortal. It'll never, you know, you won't be a god. Your spirit will live on. Okay, and he told him how bad hell was. He told him how terrible it was in hell, and he changed. Okay, so then comes Hammurabi, and Hammurabi was a small-time king, and but he was smart about business and trade, and he opened up trade routes across his country for his neighbors. Okay, crossing across his territory, which would have been right where Iraq and Syria connect, right? And that area. Okay. Well, what he did, his troops, his soldiers, when they would win a battle, they would loot whoever they conquered, and certain units were more better at than others, and they prospered more because they had more booty, right? And they looted more, right? But then not all of their. So what they would do is they would melt down the idols or the jewelry or whatever, gold and silver, and they would, you know, make these little drops, and they would press their symbol on it and make a coin, and they would distribute it evenly amongst their units. And Hammurabi was like, oh, that's a good idea. So he started making them turn in their looted booty to him, and then he would distribute evenly throughout all of his kingdom. And then he wrote the rules, Hammurabi's rules. This is where this comes in really amazing. Hammurabi's rules um, were mostly about money and how it to be used and who gets paid what, and a minimum wage, right? A standard minimum wage, right? And that attracted people to join his military. Okay, so he had a greater military than his neighbors, and they conquered his neighbors, and he became the greatest king in the region. Okay, he died like 41 years before Abraham was born. His law, Hammurabi's rules, is all about the use of money. Okay, how much you got paid if you were different levels, if you were a slave, and then if you were just a worker, or if you know, your different levels, how much of a wage you were was due you. Okay, and if somebody did some work, how much you had to pay them, right? And if you were judged, if you were, you know, committed a crime, how much money was per for the crime. That was what Hammurabi's rules were all about. Okay, I don't know who the king was. Started with the A. Who the ruler was that after Hammurabi, that would have been the one that had the most dealings with